Hello everyone, welcome back to the Spotlight. 4 wins in a row. When was the last time you could say that about Man United? 4 wins in a row. I can't remember the last time. Somebody tell me when it was. But we've beaten Arsenal here 3-1 today. I was predicting a 1-1. The game went pretty much as I expected, where Arsenal had most of the ball, dominated us, and we tried to catch them on the counter, and we did it to perfection, basically. And normally I would criticise this kind of tactic, but it is what is working for us at the minute. A little bit of it, to me, feels like we're going back to the way Ollie used to win games 3 years ago, by sitting fairly deep, soaking up the pressure, and we're using Rashford's pace on the counter-attack. And I'm not a fan of Rashford through the middle, for his hold-up play and link-up play and whatnot, but one thing he does give you is he will always get a chance with his pace. And he's good at one-on-ones. I mean, you can't knock Rashford for his finishing. He takes the chances when he gets there. It's in and around his feet and his back-to-goal play that's the problem. But before we get on to Rashford, I do just want to get into a few pointers that I have from this game in the first half. And again, we're very, very poor in possession. I know we're probably set up for this counter play, and Ten Hag must be saying to Bruno and Eriksen, get on that ball, get turned and get it stuck in behind or whatever for Rashford. Because we don't keep the ball whatsoever. Bruno, some of the touches and play that Bruno gives away drives me insane. And yes, he's got 2 assists today with playing that early ball up to Rashford and Eriksen, and it's worked today. Arsenal, I think at 2-1 are pressing. They're trying to get back in the game, and they've been caught on the break after Arteta's made about 100 subs to try and get them up the pitch. But, I mean, long term, this isn't going to work. We've seen it already. You can't play this soak up pressure forever and knock a long ball tactic. Again, it's worked versus Liverpool, Leicester and Arsenal. Liverpool are a play a high line. Leicester are bottom of the league, stripped bare, lack of confidence, got nothing. And I think we were really dominated in possession by Leicester. Southampton, I think we was lucky to get a win against Southampton. And again, today against Arsenal, they've got all the ball and we're catching them on a counter. And I think it's fine, this tactic, against the better teams and the teams that are more open at the back. But Palace will be a test next week. Again, they are a lot more solid defensively than the teams that we've come up against. And they've got Zaha on the break. They're kind of the team that are going to sit deep, try and catch us on the break and do the same to us. And the difference will be is we will have the ball, I think, against Palace. Can we do something with it? The Arsenal fans will be annoyed about the free kick against Eriksen to make it 1-0. It's soft, but it's a free kick. In the Premier League, how many times do players get a little nudge and just go down and win free kicks? Especially in full-back areas. They get a little nudge, they go down, it's a free kick. There was probably another 10 of them fouls in this game. It's if you want to play Sunday League football, it's probably not a foul. It's a foul every day in the Prem. The players go down with the slightest knock and they get that kind of decision all of the time. If the ball doesn't end up in the net, no one's even questioning it. It's a free kick in the Prem. Wherever you come from, it happens 10 times in every Prem game. Soft little nudge free kicks, players go down, they take the free kick from it. So that's all I've got to say about the first half. Second half, the first 20 minutes, Arsenal absolutely hammered us. completely and utterly dominant in possession. And we have to break this mould of letting other teams have the ball constantly. And I know we're probably in a transitional period with Ten Hag where he's seen the first 2 games and thought, oh my God, I can't be that open. I've got to shore up that back 4, which he has. And McTominay has been playing well as well. But I think we need desperately to get hold of the ball in midfield. And I know we're on the quick counter type team at the minute with Rashford, I've already mentioned. But when we're winning games, 1-0 up, 2-1 up, do we still need to be constantly hitting that long ball and giving the ball away? How about sometimes we just get hold of the ball and you turn and you keep the ball for 10 or 20 passes? Instead of going, right, we're winning, there's 20 minutes to go, every time we get the ball, smack it to Rashford and lose it again. It's not all Rashford's fault, to be fair to him. Some of the balls are terrible and we should be keeping hold of it a lot better. I forgot to mention Anthony. He was fairly quiet today, but he's got the goal on his debut, a quality finish. He had that little Cruyff pass. He looked aware, he looked fit, he looked up for it, he looked like he wanted to play for us. I think we've definitely got a player in Anthony. And I can't wait to see him play more games. On the Casemiro situation, I do think that Ten Hag, as soon we've won the last 3 games in a row, he don't want to make too many changes. Obviously, Elanga come out for Anthony, so everyone's like, wow, why is Anthony playing? And he's not trained and Casemiro has. But again, as I come back to, we've been solid defensively. McTominay's been part of that. And really, the only person that's going to come out of that midfield for Casemiro is McTominay. And at the minute, we've won 4 games on a row with him been playing, and I'm not a McTominay fan, but it's going to be harsh to take him out when we're on a run with him in the team. Long term, do I think he'll be in there instead of Casemiro? No. As I said in the preview, could it be Casemiro, McTominay and one of the others? Personally, I think Bruno, yes, he's got 2 assists today. He was still wasteful a lot of the time. And he probably could be dropped and put Eriksen at 10. But I don't think at the moment the midfield 3 is going to change while we're winning games. Same as the back 4. I've already mentioned as well that this counter football does feel like it's a bit like Ollie 3 years ago, but it is working and it worked then. Maybe this is where the people who say Ronaldo's a bit of a problem for us, maybe he is. Because as bad as Rashford is as a 9, to me, he's always a threat. But I did want to point out, of all 3 of Rashford's recent goals, not where he's moved on to the left, or his 3 goals this season, I'm sure his 2 goals today come in from the left-hand side, and he scored them both. So it'd be interesting to see whether when Martial's back and Ronaldo is fully up to speed, will Rashford still play down the middle? Because, yeah, he's got a couple of assists from being down the middle, but his goals are coming from when he's off the left. And Sancho is a technical player, and he doesn't suit this counter-attacking style. And he didn't under Ollie, and that's why Ollie didn't play him. And while we're playing it, I think we're better off with Rashford off the left and a Ronaldo or a Martial up front and an Anthony on the right. As much as I hate saying, I think Sancho's going to be a quality player if, and the question is if we ever develop the style that Ten Hag is known for, the passing, possession, pressing-based style. I think Sancho suits it. The counter-attacking system we're playing at the minute, I don't think he does. So for me, the future at the moment will be a Rashford, Martial / Ronaldo and Anthony. And yes, it's harsh on Sancho, but until we turn into that progressive, passing, possession-based team, I just don't think it suits Sancho, the counter, because he's not quick enough. Maguire coming on. I mean, you just knew something was going to happen, didn't you, when he come on? Casemiro makes a sloppy pass. He brings Jesus down. He's been on the pitch, 30 seconds or something. He's booked. Not all his fault. Casemiro was sloppy. He had to do something to stop Jesus. At least he stopped him, but he's booked straight away. A few minutes later, he's grabbing hold of Nketiah, I think it was, in the box. They're calling for a penalty. I mean, those two things there, he's been on the pitch, 5 minutes max? And it's already 2 moments of caution from him, isn't it? When we've played the other, 70 or 80 minutes without him, and Arsenal have barely looked like scoring. And so whatever you think about it, the fact is there that he's played with Martinez, he's played with Varane, he's played with Lindelof, he's played with Bailly. That's 4 different centre-back partners he's had, struggled with them all, and you can't say you're still trying to find a partner that suits Maguire. He's been with every type. He's been with the smaller, fairly technical player Lindelof. He's been with the quick player in Bailly. He's been with a world-class all-rounder in Varane. And he's been with a small, tenacious, snappy-heeled defender in Martinez. And he's failed with all 4. So that's my piece on Maguire coming on, because people probably want to know about it. But overall, we're 4 wins. We're 4th in the league. I think we're 3 points off top, are we? Let me just check that. Yeah, 3 points behind Arsenal after 6 games. I mean, after the 2 first games of the season, you'd take it all day long. Liverpool behind us, City a point or 2 in front, and only Arsenal 3 points ahead. I honestly think that people are underestimating Man United for 4th place now. I think the transfer window for the first couple of months and then those first 2 games of the season are still kind of lingering over the team, but really the whole transfer window for Man U happened after those first 2 games. I think it's a completely different mindset, a completely different squad, completely different team and attitude. And they can obviously now grind out these results. And it's a huge, huge difference to what we've seen in last season, the season before already. And I think if Liverpool continue this form, which I doubt they will, but a year or 2 ago they did the same. They just went off the boil for a season, didn't they? When we finished 2nd, they just didn't turn up for a year, the COVID year. They just didn't want it. And it looks like there's a possibility of that happening again. So, City keep dropping points. They look open at the back. And then you've got Spurs are again a bit like us. I would say we're a lot like Spurs. Grinding results out, solid. We'll be there or thereabouts for 4th, I think, now. Chelsea are having an absolute stinker. I think Tuchel or Rodgers are on the last legs. I mean, Tuchel cannot carry on with this kind of form with Chelsea. I suppose it ain't Abramovich in charge anymore. He might stick with him, but in the past he'd be on very thin ice. But yeah, I think we're on for 4th at best. Probably won't get there. I still think the Europa League is our best bet of getting in the Champions League. But I do think we'll make changes for Thursday. I think you will see Maguire, Shaw, Casemiro and the likes playing in that game on Thursday. But that one's for Thursday. And I'm not going to go on too much today. That's just my Arsenal opinion. Thought I'd get straight into it. It's a great result for us, this. I thought it was a draw all day long or possibly a loss. So, yeah, that's the quick reaction. Do the things on the YouTube and I'll hit you up on the next one. Peace.